Let us journey inward into the quiet space where the smallest particles of existence meet the vastness of our inner world. Imagine a realm so subtle, so ephemeral, that the very act of looking changes what is seen. This is the domain of quantum physics, a place where solid certainties dissolve into waves of possibility, and where the universe reveals itself not as a machine of gears and levers, but as a dance of energy and information. It is here, in this shimmering landscape of potential, that we find a surprising reflection of our own inner stillness, a resonance with the deep, quiet awareness that lies at the core of our being. For centuries, we viewed the world as a collection of separate objects, distinct and solid, moving through a predictable and empty space. Yet, as we peered deeper into the fabric of reality, this familiar picture began to fade. We discovered that at the subatomic level, things are not so clear-cut. A particle is not just a point in space. It is also a wave, a ripple of probability spreading through the cosmos. It exists not in one place, but in a superposition of many places at once. A cloud of potential until the moment of observation. And who is the observer? In the strange world of quantum mechanics, the observer is not a passive bystander. The very act of measurement, of conscious attention, seems to collapse the wave of possibilities into a single, tangible reality. This idea, so radical and counterintuitive, echoes the ancient wisdom found in contemplative traditions. It suggests that consciousness is not merely a byproduct of matter, but a fundamental aspect of the universe itself. When we sit in stillness, when we quiet the ceaseless chatter of the mind, we become a kind of observer to our own inner world. We watch as thoughts and feelings arise, not as solid, permanent things, but as fleeting waves in the ocean of our awareness. We see that we are not the thoughts, nor the emotions, but the silent, spacious presence that witnesses them all. In this quiet observation, we find that we are not separate from the world we perceive, but intimately entangled with it. This interconnectedness is another profound echo between the quantum world and the experience of stillness. At the heart of reality, particles that were once connected can remain linked across vast distances of space and time, a phenomenon known as entanglement. A change in one instantaneously affects the other, as if they were two parts of a single, indivisible whole. This invisible web of connection suggests that separation is an illusion, a trick of our limited perception. The universe is not a collection of separate fragments, but a unified, coherent field of being. In the silence of meditation, we can begin to sense this underlying unity. As the boundaries of the self soften, we feel a connection to the world around us, to the air we breathe, to the gentle hum of life, to the distant stars. We realize that the same elemental stardust that forged the galaxies also flows through our veins. The same consciousness that observes the quantum wave is the same awareness that now listens to these words. In this deep recognition of oneness, the feeling of isolation melts away, replaced by a sense of belonging, a feeling of being at home in the cosmos. Quantum physics also challenges our linear, sequential understanding of time. In the quantum realm, time is not a one-way street from past to future. It can be fluid, relative, and even reversible. This scientific insight mirrors the experience of timelessness often found in deep states of contemplation. When we are fully present, absorbed in the now, the clock seems to stop. The past and future become distant concepts, and all that exists is this single, eternal moment. The weight of yesterday and the anxiety of tomorrow dissolve into the spaciousness of the present. We touch a dimension of our being that is not bound by the ticking of the clock, a timeless awareness that has always been here and always will be. This journey into stillness is not about seeking answers or gaining control. It is about resting in the mystery. Science, at its most profound, does not eliminate mystery. It reveals its depth. The more we learn about the universe, the more we realize how much we do not know. The equations of quantum physics are not descriptions of a fixed reality, but a language of probabilities, a poetry of uncertainty. They point toward a reality that is fundamentally open, creative, and unpredictable. In the same way, stillness is not an empty void, but a field of infinite potential. It is the fertile silence from which all creativity, insight, and compassion arise. It is a space of pure listening, where we can hear the subtle whispers of intuition and the deep wisdom of our own heart. By embracing uncertainty, both in the outer world of science and the inner world of our own being, we open ourselves to a richer, more profound way of living. We learn to dance with the flow of life, rather than resisting it. We find peace not in knowing all the answers, but in becoming comfortable with the questions. So, let us return to this quiet space, this inner sanctuary of stillness. Let it be a refuge from the noise and demands of the world. Here, in the simplicity of being, we can touch the fundamental nature of reality. We can feel our interconnectedness with all things, our participation in the cosmic dance of creation. We are both the observer and the observed, the wave and the particle, the stillness and the dance. This is not a concept to be understood with the mind, but a truth to be felt in the heart. As we rest there, in this silent awareness, we find that the deepest truths of the universe are not out there in distant galaxies, but right here, within the quiet stillness of our own being. Thank you for listening. Let us return to that quiet space, that boundless field of awareness we've been exploring together. Here, in the gentle rhythm of our breath, we find a profound connection to the very fabric of existence, a connection mirrored in the strange and beautiful language of quantum physics. This is not a language of rigid answers. but one of poetic questions, pointing us toward a mystery that unfolds within and without. It speaks of a universe that is not a collection of separate, solid objects, but a shimmering, interconnected web of possibilities, a dance of potential that waits for the gentle touch of observation. Think of the electron, which exists not in one fixed place, but as a cloud of probability, a haze of what could be. It is only when we look, when we interact with it, that this cloud collapses into a single, definite point. This act of observation is not a passive glance from a detached observer. It is a creative participation. The universe, it seems, responds to our attention. This isn't about our thoughts magically creating reality in a simplistic way, but rather a deeper truth. Our consciousness is woven into the process of reality itself. We are not just spectators watching a pre-written play. We are part of the cast, co-creating the scene with every moment of focused awareness. In our own lives, we often feel like that unobserved electron, a cloud of undefined anxieties, hopes, and memories. Our inner world can feel like a storm of uncertainty. But when we turn our attention inward, when we sit in stillness and simply observe without judgment, something remarkable happens. The storm doesn't necessarily vanish, but our relationship to it changes. By observing the thoughts and feelings that arise and pass away, we are no longer lost within them. We become the observer, the still point around which the dance of the mind revolves. In this quiet act of witnessing, the chaos of potential begins to find a gentle order. We are not forcing a reality into being. We are allowing a deeper clarity to emerge from the field of our own consciousness. This brings us to the profound idea of interconnectedness, what physicists might call entanglement. When two particles become entangled, they remain connected in a mysterious way, no matter how far apart they are. A change in one is instantly reflected in the other. This isn't a signal traveling through space. It's as if they are two parts of a single, unified system, unbound by the limitations of distance. This scientific wonder echoes an ancient spiritual intuition that all things are fundamentally one. The sense of separation we experience, the feeling of being an isolated self in a vast and indifferent universe, is an illusion, a trick of perception. When we settle into stillness, this feeling of separation begins to dissolve. The boundaries of the self become porous. The rhythm of your own breath starts to feel like the rhythm of the tides. The pulse of your own heart like the distant thrum of a star. In the deep silence, you might feel that the awareness looking out through your eyes is the same awareness that animates the entire cosmos. There is no you observing the universe. There's only the universe observing itself, experiencing itself through countless points of view. We are not just in the universe. We are the universe, having a human experience. This is not a grandiose claim, but a simple, humbling recognition of our place within this vast, entangled web of life. And what of time? We experience it as a straight line, a river flowing relentlessly from a fixed past through a fleeting present into an unknown future. Yet, in the quantum realm, this linear progression becomes questionable. Time can stretch and bend. Past, present, and future can seem to coexist in a single, timeless. This is a concept that is difficult for our linear minds to grasp, but it is one we can touch upon in moments of deep presence. When you are truly still, when your mind is not racing toward the future or clinging to the past. Where is time? It disappears. There is only this moment, this breath, this sensation. In that state of profound stillness, you enter what could be called the eternal now. It's not that time stops, but that you step outside of its psychological grip. The regrets of the past and the anxieties for the future lose their power because they only exist in thought. In the direct experience of the present, there is only being. This is the freedom that stillness offers, a release from the tyranny of the clock, an entry into a dimension of experience where every moment is complete in itself. It's a taste of eternity, not as an endless duration of time, but as the absence of time altogether. Science, in its most profound form, becomes a form of contemplation. The physicist staring at equations and the meditator sitting in silence are both, in their own ways, peering into the same fundamental mystery. They are using different languages, mathematics, and awareness to explore the nature of reality. One language describes the dance of energy and matter. The other experiences the stillness from which that dance arises. But both point to a truth that is beyond words, a reality that is more fluid, more connected, and more mysterious than our everyday perception allows. Let us not seek to master this mystery, to control it with our intellect, but to simply be with it. Let us allow the insights of science to deepen our appreciation for the wonder of our own inner world. The uncertainty of the quantum world is not a flaw. It is the space for freedom, for potential, for the new to be born. The interconnectedness is not a strange theory. It is the felt sense of belonging that heals our loneliness, and the stillness within us is not an emptiness. It is the vibrant, silent field from which all things emerge. As we continue to sit in this shared space of quiet inquiry, we can let these ideas wash over us, not as concepts to be memorized, but as gentle reminders. They are signposts, pointing us back to the direct experience of this moment. The universe is not a problem to be solved. It is a reality to be experienced. And the deepest way to experience it is to become still, to listen to the silence, and to feel the subtle, shimmering dance of existence within our own being. This is where science and spirit meet, not in a clash of doctrines, but in a shared sense of awe and wonder before the great, beautiful unknown. As we allow our attention to soften, we can feel the gentle pull of this underlying unity. The sensation of the air on your skin is not separate from the air itself. The sound entering your ears is not separate from the silence from which it arises. In the same way, the awareness that is experiencing all of this is not separate from the world it perceives. It is a singular, unfolding process. This realization is not something to be achieved through effort. It is a recognition that dawns in the quiet humility of simply being present. It is the understanding that you are not a drop in the ocean, but the entire ocean in a drop. The quantum world teaches us that reality is fundamentally it is a realm of tendencies, of likelihoods, of maybes. This inherent uncertainty is not a defect but a feature. It is the source of all novelty, all creativity, all freedom. If everything were fixed and predetermined, the universe would be a static machine. But because of this underlying indeterminacy, life can emerge, consciousness can blossom, and evolution can unfold in endlessly surprising ways. Our own lives are a reflection of this. We are not defined by a fixed, unchangeable past. At every moment, we stand at the edge of infinite possibility. In our stillness, we can learn to become comfortable with this uncertainty. We often crave certainty, seeking solid ground in a world that is inherently fluid. We want to know what will happen next, to control outcomes, to eliminate risk. But this craving for control is the source of much of our suffering. Stillness teaches us a different way. It teaches us to rest in the not knowing, to trust the unfolding process of life without needing to manage every detail. It is an embrace of the present moment with all its inherent ambiguity. When we can sit with uncertainty without fear, we open ourselves to a deeper wisdom, a wisdom that flows not from the calculating mind, but from the intuitive heart. This is the wisdom of surrender, of letting go, of allowing life to be what it is. This surrender is not a passive resignation. It is an active and engaged presence. It is the conscious choice to meet each moment with openness and curiosity, rather than with preconceived ideas and judgments. It is to see the world with fresh eyes, as if for the first time. The quantum observer, by the very act of looking, participates in shaping what is observed. Similarly, our quality of attention shapes our experience of life. If we look at the world through the lens of fear and separation, we will see a world that is threatening and fragmented. If we look through the lens of stillness and interconnectedness, we begin to perceive the underlying harmony, the hidden beauty, the silent intelligence that pervades everything. This brings us back to the nature of silence. We often think of silence as the absence of sound and emptiness, but in the context of our inner exploration, silence is something much more profound. It is not an absence, but a presence. It is the ground of being itself, the canvas upon which the sounds, thoughts, and sensations of life are painted. True silence is a field of pure potential, teeming with unspoken wisdom. It is the space between our thoughts, the stillness between our breaths. It is in this silence that we can hear the subtle whispers of intuition, the quiet voice of our own deeper self. The scientific quest for a theory of everything is a search for a single, elegant framework that can describe all the fundamental forces of nature. It is a quest for ultimate unity. In a parallel way, the spiritual journey is a quest for the direct experience of that unity. The path is not through complex equations, but through the simple act of being still. In the laboratory of our own consciousness, we can verify for ourselves the truth of interconnectedness. We can feel the non-local connection that binds us to all of life. We can experience time not as a rigid line, but as a spacious, eternal now. Let us not set science against spirituality, or the mind against the heart. They're two wings of the same bird, both necessary for us to take flight into the vastness of the mystery. The metaphors of quantum physics can serve as a bridge, a modern language to describe ancient truths. They can help us to see that the world is not as solid and separate as it appears. They can inspire us to look deeper, to question our assumptions, and to open our minds to a more expansive view of reality. As we rest in this shared field of quiet awareness, let go of the need to understand everything. Let go of the effort to piece it all together. Simply be. Be the silent observer. Be the still point. Feel the gentle hum of existence, the subtle vibration of life that flows through you and through everything. You are a unique and precious expression of the cosmos. A wave in the great ocean of being. Your journey is not to become something you are not, but to realize what you have always been. Allow this sense of peace to permeate your entire being. Feel the interconnectedness, not as an idea, but as a felt reality. You are held by the universe, supported by it, a part of it. There is nothing to fear. There is nothing to achieve. There is only this moment, this breath, this silent, spacious, and infinitely creative presence. This is the meeting point of all paths. This is the heart of the mystery. This is home. Gently, softly. Rest in this knowing, this being. Returning to the profound and simple truth of your own silent presence. Let us journey inward, to a place where the clamor of the world recedes, and the subtle hum of existence becomes audible. Here, in the quiet sanctuary of our own awareness, we find echoes of the universe's deepest truths. Truths that modern science has only recently begun to glimpse. For centuries, we looked outward, mapping the stars, dissecting matter, and charting the laws that govern the physical world. Yet, The mystics and sages of old always pointed inward, suggesting that the key to understanding the cosmos lies within the silent depths of consciousness. Today, these two paths, the path of the scientist and the path of the sage, are converging in the most astonishing ways, particularly in the strange and wondrous realm of quantum physics. This is not a journey into complex equations or technical jargon, but rather an exploration of ideas, a contemplation of the profound metaphors that arise when the outer world of science meets the inner world of stillness. It is an invitation to listen, to feel, and to recognize the familiar music of the universe playing within the chambers of your own being. Imagine yourself at the very edge of reality, peering into the fundamental nature of matter. What you find there is not a world of solid, predictable objects, but a shimmering, probabilistic dance of energy. At this quantum level, particles are not fixed things, but potentials, existing in a cloud of possibilities until the moment of observation. It is a world governed by uncertainty, where a particle can be in multiple places at once, a wave and a particle simultaneously, a fleeting whisper of what might be. This principle of uncertainty is not a limitation of our instruments, but an inherent quality of existence itself. It tells us that the universe is not a rigid, deterministic machine, but a fluid, creative, and ever-unfolding process. This mirrors the wisdom of ancient traditions, which have long spoken of impermanence as the fundamental nature of life. Everything arises, shimmers for a moment, and dissolves back into the formless, the solid ground beneath our feet. The very thoughts we believe define us are all part of this ephemeral dance. By embracing this uncertainty, we let go of the need for rigid control and open ourselves to the spontaneous flow of life, trusting in the unfolding of each moment without needing to know the outcome. In this quantum world, the act of observation is not a passive event. The observer is not separate from the observed. The very act of looking, of measuring, of bringing your attention to a particle seems to collapse its wave of potential into a single, definite state. Consciousness, it appears, is not merely a witness to reality. It is an active participant in its creation. This doesn't mean our thoughts magically shape the world, but it points to a profound intimacy between mind and matter, between the inner and the outer. Think of your own awareness when you bring your full attention to a sensation in your body, to the sound of a distant bird, or to the delicate flavor of a sip of tea. That experience becomes more vivid, more real. Your attention does not invent the sensation, but it illuminates it, bringing it forth from the background of potential experiences into the foreground of your reality. In the stillness of meditation, as we observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, we are engaging in a similar process. We are not our thoughts, but the silent awareness in which they arise and pass away. This awareness is the observer, the still point around which the dance of experience revolves. And in its presence, we discover a freedom that is not dependent on changing our circumstances, but on changing our relationship to them. One of the most mind-bending discoveries of quantum physics is entanglement, what Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. When two particles are entangled, they remain connected in a mysterious way, no matter how far apart they are. If you measure a property of one particle, you instantly know the corresponding property of the other, as if they are communicating faster than the speed of light. This suggests a deep, underlying unity, a hidden web of connection that binds the entire universe together. From this perspective, separation is an illusion. The feeling of being an isolated self, a lonely individual adrift in a vast cosmos, is a product of our limited perception. In reality, we are not separate drops in the ocean, but the ocean itself, expressing itself as individual waves. Every atom in your body was once forged in the heart of a distant star. The air you breathe is shared by all living beings on this planet. Your joy, your sorrow, your hopes, and your fears are not just your own. They are part of the collective human experience, reverberating through the invisible field that connects us all. When we sit in stillness, we can begin to feel this interconnectedness. The boundaries of the self soften, and we sense our place within the larger tapestry of life. A seamless whole where every thread is essential, and every part is intimately connected to every other part. Our experience of time as a linear progression from a fixed past to an open future is also challenged by the quantum view. At the fundamental level, the equations of physics work just as well backward as they do forward. The distinction between past, present, and future seems to dissolve. This resonates with the experience of deep meditation or moments of profound presence, where time seems to slow down, expand, or even disappear altogether. In these states, we are no longer rushing from one moment to the next, driven by memories of the past or anxieties about the future. We are simply here, now, in the timeless present. The past is a memory, a story we tell ourselves, and the future is an imagination, a projection of our hopes and fears. The only reality is this moment. Stillness is the gateway to this timeless dimension. It is not an empty void, but a field of pure potential, a silent space where all possibilities coexist. It is the canvas upon which the masterpiece of creation is painted, moment by moment. By resting in this stillness, we step out of the river of linear time and touch the ocean of eternity. We realize that we are not just living in time, we are time. We are the eternal now, forever unfolding, forever new. Science offers us a language, a set of pointers toward these great mysteries, but it does not provide the ultimate answers. The map is not the territory. The real journey is an inner one, a direct, experiential exploration of the truths that these scientific metaphors point to. It is a journey into the silence within, where the observer and the observed become one, where uncertainty is embraced as freedom, and where we discover our unbreakable connection to the whole. This is where quantum physics meets stillness, not as a theory to be understood, but as a reality to be lived. It is an invitation to come home to yourself, to the quiet center of your own being, and to recognize the universe looking back at you through your own eyes. Let us continue to rest in this open space of awareness, allowing these ideas to settle not as intellectual concepts, but as felt truths resonating deep within our being. The quantum world suggests that beneath the surface of apparent solidity, everything is in constant motion, a vibrant, energetic hum. This is not a chaotic frenzy, but an ordered, intelligent dance. Similarly, when we turn our attention inward, we may initially encounter a whirlwind of thoughts, emotions, and sensations. The mind seems like a restless sea, tossed by the winds of daily life. But if we remain as the silent witness, without trying to stop the waves or calm the storm, we begin to notice a deeper stillness that underlies the movement. This is the stillness that was there before the thought arose, the silence that remains after it has passed. It is the vast empty sky through which the clouds of experience drift. This inner stillness is not a state to be achieved or created. It is our fundamental nature. It is the ground of our being, always present, always available, waiting patiently beneath the noise of the personality. Just as the quantum field is a realm of pure potential from which all forms emerge, this inner stillness is the source of our own creativity, intuition, and wisdom. By learning to rest in it, we are not negating the world of form and activity. We are grounding ourselves in the source from which all effective and compassionate action arises. It is from this place of profound rest that we can engage with the world more fully, with greater clarity and a deeper sense of connection. This underlying interconnectedness, this quantum entanglement, also transforms our understanding of empathy and relationship. If we are all fundamentally connected, then the joy of another is, in some subtle way, our own joy. The suffering of another is our own suffering. This is not a moral precept to be followed, but a description of reality. When we act with kindness, we are not just being good. We are acting in harmony with the fundamental nature of the universe. When we harm another, we are, in a very real sense, harming ourselves, creating a dissonance in the unified field that we all share. In the stillness of our own hearts, we can feel this truth directly. The barriers that seem to separate me from you begin to dissolve. We see the same spark of life, the same longing for peace and happiness in the eyes of everyone we meet. This recognition is the root of true compassion. It is not a sentimental feeling, but a clear seeing of our shared identity. It allows us to listen more deeply, to forgive more easily, and to love more unconditionally, because we understand that in loving others, we are loving the totality of which we are an inseparable part. We are attending to the garden of existence, knowing that every flower, every leaf, is part of the same living organism. The uncertainty principle in physics can also be seen as a profound spiritual teaching. We live in a culture that craves certainty, that wants to plan, predict, and control every outcome. We create elaborate belief systems, rigid identities, and fixed plans for the future, all in an attempt to create a sense of security in a fundamentally insecure world. But quantum physics reminds us that at its core, reality is open, fluid, and unpredictable. The future is not a fixed destination we are heading toward, but a field of infinite possibilities that we are co-creating in every moment. To live with this uncertainty is to live with a sense of wonder and adventure. It means letting go of our rigid expectations and opening ourselves to surprise. It means trusting the process of life, even when we don't know where it is leading. In the silence of our being, we can practice this. We can notice the mind's constant attempt to grasp, to define, and to know, and we can gently let it go, returning again and again to the simple, direct experience of the present moment. In this moment, there is no uncertainty, because there is no future to be uncertain about. There is only what is. And in the simple acceptance of what is, we find a peace that is deeper and more stable than any security the thinking mind could ever construct. This journey is not about finding definitive answers, but about learning to live more comfortably with the questions. Science, in its purest form, is not a dogma, but a process of inquiry, a humble approach to the vast mystery of existence. It uses models and metaphors to point toward a reality that is ultimately beyond words and concepts. In the same way, the path of inner exploration is not about accumulating spiritual knowledge, but about cultivating a quality of presence, a silent, receptive awareness that can directly perceive the truth. The language of quantum physics, with its talk of waves and particles, observers and entanglement, can be a beautiful and potent poetry that helps to loosen the grip of our old, mechanistic worldview. It can inspire us to look at ourselves and our world with new eyes, to see the magic and mystery in the ordinary. But the poetry is not the experience itself. The real transformation happens in the silence, in the stillness, into simply unadorned presence of this moment. It happens when we stop trying to figure everything out and simply allow ourselves to be here, now, as part of this incredible, mysterious, and unified whole. It is a returning, a remembering of who we have always been, beneath the layers of thought and identity. The silent, aware, and interconnected consciousness of the universe itself. The exploration of these parallels between the outer world of physics and the inner world of Consciousness ultimately leads us back to a place of profound simplicity. It is a journey that moves from the complexity of theories and ideas to the simple, direct experience of being. The mind may grapple with concepts of non-locality and the observer effect, but the heart understands interconnectedness. In a moment of genuine empathy, the intellect may debate the nature of time, but the soul touches eternity in a moment of pure presence. This is not to dismiss the importance of inquiry, but to recognize its proper place. The mind is a wonderful tool for navigating the world of form, but it cannot grasp the formless. The path forward, or rather, inward, is one of increasing subtlety. It is a process of unlearning, of letting go of the need to label and categorize every experience, and instead, resting in the experience itself. It is the difference between reading a description of water and feeling its cool, refreshing touch on your skin. The words are pointers, but the reality is in the direct, sensory, and intuitive knowing. This knowing blossoms in the fertile ground of silence. Not an empty, awkward silence, but a living, vibrant silence that is full of potential. It is the silence that exists between musical notes, which gives the melody its shape and beauty. It is the silence of a deep forest, which is not empty, but teeming with unhurried life. When we become comfortable with this inner silence, we discover that it is not a void, but a plenum. It is the source from which all true insight, creativity, and love spring forth. In this silence, we are not trying to get somewhere or become someone else. We are simply being. We are allowing ourselves to be as we are, without judgment or resistance. This act of allowing is itself a profound form of healing and transformation. The knots of tension in our minds and bodies, which are formed by years of striving and resisting, begin to loosen and dissolve in the gentle warmth of our own accepting presence. We don't have to fix ourselves. We just have to be with ourselves. The silence does the work. As we rest in this quiet space, notice how even the desire to understand begins to fade. The need for concepts, for metaphors, for any explanation at all, becomes less urgent. The experience of presence is self-validating. It needs no proof. The feeling of peace is its own reason for being. The sense of connection is its own reward. We no longer feel compelled to grasp or define what is happening. The experience itself is enough. In this simplicity, something quietly profound reveals itself. A sense of ease that does not depend on circumstances. A peace that is not earned or achieved, but uncovered. It has always been here, beneath the layers of effort and explanation. As the mind relaxes its grip, awareness naturally settles into itself, like water finding its own level. In this resting, the distinction between inner and outer grows increasingly subtle. The sounds around you are no longer interruptions to stillness. They are expressions of it. The rhythm of your breath is not something you control, but something you are gently carried by. Life continues to move. Thoughts may still arise. Sensations may come and go. Yet none of this disturbs the underlying quiet. It becomes clear that stillness is not the absence of movement, but the space in which all movement occurs. Here, there is nothing to improve and nowhere to go. The search itself begins to dissolve, not because answers have been found, but because the question has softened. What remains is a simple presence, open and receptive, allowing each moment to unfold without resistance. This is not withdrawal from life, but a deeper participation in it. From this place, action becomes more natural, responses more gentle, and understanding more intuitive. The universe seen through this lens no longer feels distant or abstract. It is immediate, intimate, and alive. The same intelligence that shapes galaxies and governs the subtle laws of nature is quietly present in this moment of awareness. Not as a concept to believe in, but as a lived reality, felt in the calm clarity of simply being here. Nothing needs to be added to this experience. Nothing needs to be taken away. As attention continues to soften, even the sense of being an observer fades. There is no one watching the moment, and no moment being watched. There is only what is whole, complete, and self-sufficient. This is not something extraordinary or mystical. It is the most ordinary thing of all, so familiar that it is often overlooked. And yet, when recognized, it carries a quiet depth that changes how everything else is seen. Rest here for a while longer. Let the words fall away. Let the music, the silence, and the gentle flow of breath remain. There is no conclusion to reach, no insight to hold on to. What matters is not understanding this state, but allowing it. Trust that whatever needs to arise will do so in its own time, without effort. And as this moment slowly gives way to the next, know that this stillness does not disappear. It is not confined to meditation or quiet spaces. It moves with you, beneath thought and activity, always available. You can return to it at any time, simply by pausing, by listening, by allowing awareness to rest in itself. For now, remain here, in this openness, in this quiet clarity, in this endless spacious presence.